Hey everyone, welcome back once again. Today we're going to do a review of a Netflix movie that recently came out. It came out this last Friday. It's for the movie Dayshift. I did a trailer reaction to this about 3 weeks ago or so when it first was announced. It was a little underwhelming, but actually after sitting down and watching it and everything, I was surprised at how good it actually was. You know, it's not award-winning stuff, but it was actually really entertaining. It stars Jamie Foxx, Snoop Dogg, and Dave Franco, which is an odd lineup to say the least, but it stars them as vampire hunters that work for this group called the Union, who actually, it's their job to go out and hunt vampires and pull their teeth for profit. So it's definitely a different take on the vampire genre. It features kind of a strange but good story as far as types of vampires. It actually has 5 different classes of vampires that range from the Ubers, who are the top dogs of the chain. Then you got just kind of ones that are classified by region. You got Southerns, Easterns. Then you got these ones called spiders, who are just basically contortionists, which are just creepy on their own. And then you got the juveniles, which are younger vampires that have not developed correctly, or they take longer to develop after turning. They are usually younger kids or whatever, and so they cannot process human blood. They cannot regenerate, so they have to kind of work the way up to that kind of type of power and everything. But, it features a lot of action scenes and gunplay and everything. A lot of it was actually a lot more choreographed well than, more than I expected. And you've got this one scene that I found pretty entertaining, actually. It was a scene with Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco teamed up with another pair of vampire hunters that are, I guess, kind of independent contractors or whatever. And they discover that there is this hive that is housing many vampires in this neighborhood. So they go in there, and just the way they go in there and they fight them, the way they take them out, the creative ways that they are taken out, like I said, the choreographing of the fighting and just the gunplay, and just it was a very all-around entertaining little part of the movie, and the way they are going about extinguishing these vampires, the creative ways they're taking them out, and you can see that they're very highly trained and everything, and it was just a good addition to the movie. I think it was just kind of one of those things that they threw in there and it worked. And so I really enjoyed that part of the movie, because you really got to see a showdown between all these different types of vampires and these hunters. And along with, like I said, the good gunplay and good fight scenes and everything, you have the comedic impact of Dave Franco. He has a couple scenes that I actually took note of that I found pretty funny. They give you a good giggle, and just his take on that character and the way he freaks out over things and just kind of is very uncomfortable with the whole situation of hunting vampires, because he starts off as an office person who is not a field guy, who has never in his life actually hunted vampires, but he is the guy in the office who kind of does clerk type stuff and everything, but then he gets thrust into this position of having to go out to the field, and he does not handle it well, but he does bring some very comedic chops to the whole thing. And like I said, it adds to what I thought was a pretty decent movie. It's kind of a one and done. I don't expect to see a sequel out of this, but you just never know, because they did kind of lack in a few certain areas. The main villain, she just kind of shows up and then she's there. She is there to fuck shit up. And there's not really much more fed into her story as to why, other than she's there for revenge for something that Jamie Foxx's character does at the beginning of the movie. And so, it doesn't dive deep into a really complicated story or anything, but like I said, it is a good little popcorn movie where you can just sit there and kill a couple hours. Definitely not for the kids. I don't recommend it for them. Lots of blood and guts and gore and cursing, plus the violence. But all in all, I thought it was a decent little movie to come out of Netflix, which is surprising because they don't really put out a lot of good movies. They just, how they're just kind of spitting them out as often as they can. But like I said, I enjoyed this one. I recommend it if you just want to kill a couple hours and you just want to see some vampires get fucked up and you want to see some pretty halfway decent fight scenes and everything. It's just one of those ones where if you have some free time, go for it. That's kind of where I landed on it, where I was not going to dedicate some time to watch this movie, but I found some time. I sat down, I watched it, and I enjoyed it. So if you like that type of stuff, I would check it out. But with all of that said and everything, please subscribe if you feel so inclined. Leave a like, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. And I guess that'll do it, guys. So until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks.